Okay, Aaron, this is the second game that we're going to look at. You are black in this game, so let's flip the board. Look at it from your perspective. Played on the
Yep,
18th of September 2024, the day before we record this video.
yep,
Cayenne Wige was your opponent, rating of 916, and your rating was 906.
yep.
E4, E5, and again, opening played very well by both players, so we're going to go quickly through that. And we have the four knights again.
Hmm.
But now we get the Italian. Bishop b5 was your move in the previous game, and now your opponent plays bishop c4. That's the Italian. And you develop your stuff. You pin the knight. Knight d5. You decide to take it. Bishop takes and castling. And you decide to take your knight. Well, okay, it's doubled pawns, but it's another pawn towards the center. That is not really a bad pawn structure. Half open b file, this is fine for black. Bishop d2, you decide to keep the bishops on the board. Queen e1, that's a bit of a strange one because now you can damage his king side.
Hmm.
And you are a good attacker on the king. Yeah, his king is now less happy. Bit like in the previous game, you were also able to damage the pawn structure in front of his king. And that's good chess. d5, trust in the center. Black is doing really well here. Bishop e3 and d4, closing the center. Bishop has to go back.
Do you think I should have opened? Think I should have took on the e4?
Um, After bishop, take on e4 here.
Sorry. Take the bishop and then take the pawn because I've closed the game. So
Take
let's
the
say he
bishop.
takes,
Let's say he takes with the queen.
and then
And
I
then on
take the
e4.
pawn. Yeah.
Yeah, let's say he takes, undoubles his pawns. Yeah, playable. These now are a little bit miserable.
Yeah. Rick, can I ask, what do you think about how very quickly we've traded pieces, and now here we are, and before you know it, bishops, knights them off the board, and it's a very, heavy piece game. This can happen very quick when you just exchange pieces, you just take. I do like those games, but it's like we just get to this very quickly and all our weapons are gone and it's very heavy. I don't know. It just seems like I get to these positions very quick sometimes.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that all your weapons are gone. Your strongest weapons are still there. Um, but I understand what you're saying. Your bishops and knights are gone, and they are. Yeah, but I like about your style is that you like to have pieces on the board. You like complicated games. You don't shy away from
Yeah.
them. That's a great attitude to have. But yeah, sometimes it's hard to if your opponent wants to swap pieces, he can. Um, it's not something you can always avoid, especially
And
not with the setups that you play. You play open games, bishop g5, bishop b5. Uh, Bishop and knight are attacking each other often in your games, and that's then you can get these exchanges. Yeah, it's not a. Um, I
and then
see what
like
you mean.
yeah, and with F8 rook, do you start looking to put it on E8 and then up to E6 and then across to G6, or do you always keep that there just as safety, compensation, insurance for the for the king? Like sometimes, or do you push the pawn, the F7 pawn, to F5, and you make sure there's a rook behind her? Sometimes never know what to do with that rook.
Well, you gave all the options. Indeed, Rook e8, e6, g6 is that's three moves. There's a lot of moves. But once it's on g6, it's a beautiful rook, of course, combining attack and defense. And yes, that white king is a bit open. So that's definitely something you could do. I like your idea f5 very much as well. The rook is already on the right square and also can go to f6 and then to g6, in a shorter way. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
yeah, but yeah, those are good options. Um, yeah, I like them. And we got something similar in the game. Of course, the bishop did not come off the board. You played d4 and bishop d2. And now you play the queen move. And of course, you want, and I know what you want to do. You want to attack that white king, and that makes a lot of sense. If you make a queen move, where do you put the queen?
H4.
Queen h4. Yeah, that's a nice aggressive move, a bit close to his king.
What did I play? G4, G5.
Well, you didn't put on g5 with check. You mean? Why is that a bad move?
Because the bishop takes.
Exactly. You just gave away your queen. I looked at queen f6 as well. Possible maneuvers. You played queen d6. And I know you wanted to attack, and it's later what you did. So I thought, why did you get the queen already in that direction instead of putting on d6?
Yeah,
it's a small thing. It's just a small thing. Still fine. For black is a bit better. I would be very worried about my king if I was white. I would probably very quickly play that one and that one to get on the g file myself. He plays f4. You play rook a to e8, and that's the arrows that I put on last night when I was preparing, and that's a plan.
So if I take on f4, it's attackers versus defenders. If he takes with the bishop, I take with the queen. So maybe I should have took that.
Yeah, that's true. You could have taken the pawn, and also
it's supported. If I can get the queen on G2.
Yeah, it's suddenly an attacker that f pawn, which is now an f pawn, is very dangerous. If you can get it to f3, then all sorts of yeah. So that's the best move. Just take the pawn.
Yeah.
Simple chess.
I was thinking. I thought while he's taking a move to take my pawn, I'm going to quickly start developing an attack, and just thought I'd win and move ahead.
And that's fine as well. But indeed, in this case, you could have got an extra attacker, which is the f pawn.
Yeah.
And it's not just winning a pawn; it's also getting an extra attacker on that side. Yeah, that would have been better. But yeah, missed a little bit of a missed chance. He plays f3. You play rook e6. King f2, and actually that's a nice maneuver. What he's doing, say, oh yeah, my king is in trouble. I'm just gonna march it all the way to safety. And that's a nice idea. Suddenly, your attacking plans are gone because the king will be on the other side suddenly. So, and there's some openings where that happens. White castles short, and then the next 6-7 moves he plays and gets his king all the way from g1 to b1. That's a very funny line in one of in one of the openings. But yeah, so I like White's way of solving the problem of his king that's in danger. Queen e7.
There's no pawns come off the board yet.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Doesn't happen too often after 17 moves that all the pawns are still there. King e2, rook h6. Okay, there's no king to go at, but there's still a weak h-pawn. He protects it. And you play queen e6. And here he could have played f5. That's a nice tactic. Beautiful. Attacking your rook and attacking your queen. See that?
Yeah, beautiful that is.
Yeah. He didn't do it. He took on e5. And now I guess he's also attacking your rook. So he could have saved your rook here.
But I didn't.
But you didn't see it. You didn't see that discovered attack on your rook. You played bishop e7, trying to... Of course, I like the bishop move from a positional point of view because that bishop was standing on c5, not doing much.
I'm trying to get ready for that skewer on h4.
Okay. Yeah, you're planning a skewer. Well, that's happened actually. Let's have a look at it. Because it's getting very tactical now. Like in the previous game, suddenly it gets tactical. He took the exchange, and you played bishop h4.
Yes.
With your own...
that's a good move.
It's a good move, but of course, you have a skewer, but don't forget, he just took a full rook. You're a full rook down at the moment. So, because you haven't recaptured yet on h6, so it has to... you can say it's a good move, but you have to calculate that you don't stay material down.
Yeah.
He has a desperado. He says, I'm not gonna lose my bishop, so let's take on g7. And this is a crucial moment because you thought, okay, a threat is stronger than the execution. It's amazing how these games are similar. A similar skewer, and also keeping the threat in the position. You said, well, I'll take the bishop first, and I'll keep the threat in the position. The threat is stronger than the execution. But in this case, it doesn't work. And why not?
Oh God.
How can he solve his the problem
There's
of
a check. There's a check.
okay. Yeah, there's a check.
There.
There. In between move, and suddenly your skewer is gone. And to make things worse, your bishop is hanging.
Oh damn.
That bishop was doing the skewering, and now it's just hanging because of the oh.
Well,
That's
Rick,
just
can I say, like, because there's so many things that can happen, you ask yourself, like, like, is it not luck, but you're meant to go up the ranks and get better, but you can be really good, and then there's a tactic that like, you can't. I don't know. The way I see it at the moment is you can't see everything. Things are happening. I thought I was winning. I thought I'm going to do a piece, and then I don't. I'm thinking, is this actually my chess elo, or is it just crossing the road and not seeing all the traffic? Like you just get hit by. I don't, sometimes you think, what gives, man?
well, you start to sound more and more like a chess player because what you say it's true. Chess is a very cruel game, and you can calculate and calculate and calculate and make all the great moves and play a fantastic game up to move 60, and on the move 61 you hang your queen and you lose. Um, that's awful, and that's what the game of chess is, unfortunately. And it's you use the word luck there. They always say good players are always lucky. Everybody says, how come that Magnus Carlsen is always lucky? Well, he's lucky because he is a great player. And that's also when I always say, make sure you have a healthy position, you have happy pieces, because then good things will happen to you. And if you have unhappy pieces, bad things will happen to you. So it's a mixture of things. But sometimes people say there's luck in chess, and there's a little bit of that, but it seems to always be with a stronger player. Yeah. But this is unfortunate that it suddenly all falls apart horrifically within a few moves. And White took his chance when it was there. So we just see the finish, King h8, and he took your queen, and now he's a rook up. He won a rook. Then you want a bishop back, but now you want a bishop, so he's a rook up again. You take on e5, and Diamond can eat anything, but it's the attack plays itself. Rook hg1. You defend against. You try to get your defense organized, but there's a mate in one which he didn't find. I'll let you find it.
Queen to f6.
Queen f6 is checkmate. Yeah. But there's no way to save this game anyway, so we don't have to dwell on it. Queen g4 he played, and now after c5 he found the checkmate. So again, similar to last game, a very good game, but as it got tactical, the tactics got the better. He got the better tactics. He was in this game anyway. He was tactically more aware and found the best moves. Aran, you know how much time you took for this game? 2 minutes and 29 seconds.
So I had 7 minutes left.
7 minutes and 31 seconds left.
Wow. I wouldn't have picked that up when I was playing.
No.
I'm so indulged with the game that I get carried away.
Yeah. But that's it. You're an impulsive chess player. You get so enthusiastic, and you bang the moves out sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else in this game?
No.